All right, all right. Black Power. Black Power is the truth hour with General Sarah Soon said he kicked back. Get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. We black again. Everybody know what time it is. This Sunday, December 25th. The General is getting down what every black family needs to know about Christmas. You should have your family front row and center. You should get this information. It will be an enjoyable, powerful, informative presentation that you just don't want to miss. You just don't, you already know I'm a tap dance. I know I'm gonna wait on you. I know y'all got to get out of church. I got there 1 o'clock, and I know I don't want to run into your church. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be able to get home so you can get your church clothes off. Grab you one of them, grab you a couple slices of that honeysuckle ham. You know what I'm saying? Get you get you a couple bowls of that macaroni and cheese and this, that, and the third. Get yourself together and sit on down. Roll you up a couple. Get you one in a couple of them cold brews and shit. You understand what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? And then it's time to get busy. You know what I'm saying? And then it's time to get busy. We're going to, like I said, we'll get down about 2 p.m. And most definitely the link is right down there in the video description. All you have to do is click that link, begin to think, and your family will thank you very much. Or either they're going to kick you out the family, one of the two. It ain't going to be no in between. They're going to kick your ass out of the family. You understand? For, waking them up to the inconsistencies and occult demonic activities that they've been involved in for the last umpteen years. You see? So, family, have your ass in the place. That's right. Ring the alarm, KingSeti.com, online marketplace, official General Sarah Seti classic and Jurassic DVD. When you go to King Seti online marketplace, make sure you go to the top, click that sale tab, and in there you got big discounts for the family. Get you some of them products, tight and hot products, you know what I'm saying, that you could get for a big discount, family. And make sure you click on the DVDs. We got the Jurassic and classic DVD lectures. We got the t-shirts and hoodies for the kings and the queens. We got African and Kemetic jewelry. We got the onks. We got the Ahe rules. We got the necklaces, earrings, the bracelets, the finger rings. We got West Africa, Ife, Benin. We got the continental Africa medallions. We got everything that you need, family. We got the red, black, and green flags. We also got the holistic tonics. It's about that time. We in the dead of winter, and that says a lot. When you're in the dead of winter, you don't want to end up dead. So you want you some holistic tonics and remedies to fortify your immune system. We got the organic immunity booster with the sea moss. We got the holy black seed living bitters. You understand? We got some more tonics there. You just go there and check out the health and wealth, and you'll see the great products that we have for the health. And also home decor accessories for the living room, the dining room, the kitchen, the bathroom, all rooms in the house. We got home decor accessories for that room that will, put some exquisite products in there that is for kings and queens, transforming your African home into the African temple that you always wanted. Class is 9 session. That's right. GeneralSeti.com, SETI University, over 900 video presentations, 2 raw for YouTube, advanced African academics from Freemasonry, ancient Egypt, Nubia, Hindu, Kush, Olmec, Voyages of the Nile, Black Woman is God, occult science, SETI debates all world religions, video and radio interviews, highlights from over 50 cities, ancient civilization, mythology, Black power, and politics and economics. The complete Sarah Seti General Seti website. Get your ass in class. Don't you miss another damn day. You feel me? And of course, you right there, one of the classic video libraries that we got. You understand the making of the white man. When you go in that library, it could be 50 different videos on different subjects. We got you, family. You understand? General Seti, keep it popping on Patreon. BPC making noise. We never come. Exclusive live stream. Too hot to handle on YouTube. You see, we just did the synagogue of Saturn, the Shabbat of Satan. We got the seven greatest power couple of ancient Egypt, the Jed, the Jinn, and the dragon, occult prophecies of divine black people reveal, ancient Egypt and West African connection, continental glory. You see, and make sure you, and that's, that's Patreon. Click that link, go on over there. That's just a couple of hot lectures, but there's many, many more, you see, that's there. And so go on over there and check them out, family. And, General Seti, make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube pages. General Seti, King Seti, Sarah Soon Seti. Rock that notification bell. Get a video a thumbs up. Like it because you love it. Share it with your family and friends. And comment. Just keep it respectful, because I will ban your ass. I'll put you up out of there. Why was Christmas banned in America and England? And why they need to ban that motherfucker right now today? They need to reban it. Who told them to take it out of ban? There's many people minds and shit that they fucking up. They need to reban that shit. Get it on up out of here. Let me get in here, family, and go to work. Let me 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 go to work. Okay, where's that one at? Let me see. Let me get up here and get that one up. There you go. There you go, right there. Bingo. Come on down. I believe that's it. Is that it? Let me see. Maybe it was on here. It is right here. Okay. Let me get down here where that smoke at. Okay, here we go. Bingo. Let me get it up here. Okay. Why was Christmas banned in America and in England? You see, and so right here, you are actually looking at, the order that was put on in public for all peoples to see. The observation of Christmas has been deemed as sacrilegious. The exchanging of gifts and greeting and fine clothing and all this similar to satanical practice and are hereby forbidden, with the offender liable to be fined of 5 shillings. Okay? And so, this happened, first and foremost, it happened in Britain. Okay? It happened in Britain. And it happened around 1643. Now, this was under Cromwell, Oliver Cromwell. And it was a time of civil war in Britain. And, so they was tired of the king. They were tired of the royalty. And so they overthrew their ass. And at that time, I believe, I don't know if it was Frederick or I don't know but they beheaded his ass. Charles, I don't know if it was, no, I don't think it was Frederick because that's I don't know. But I know they beheaded his ass. And Oliver Cromwell was one of the leaders. Okay. And so it says on 19th December 1643, an ordinance was passed encouraging subjects to treat the mild winter period with the more solemn humiliation, because it may call to remembrance our sins and the sins of our forefathers who have turned this feast, pretending the memory of Christ into an extreme forgetfulness of him, by giving liberty to carnal and sensual delights. The rejection of Christmas as a joyful period was reiterated when in 1644 ordinances confirmed the abolition of the feast of Christmas and Easter. Christmas and Easter. So that means they were showing out for Easter too. You see, that's why I said that the carnival aspect of all their practices, of all their practices, all their holidays was the same. It was like Mardi Gras. It was like Halloween and Mardi Gras. You see, mask wearing, drunk, and high, and all type of perversion and deviance and shit. You see, and from this point into the Restoration, in 1660, Christmas was officially illegal. Illegal, okay? Although Cromwell himself did not initiate the banning of Christmas, his rise to power certainly resulted in the promotion of measures that severely curtailed such celebrations. Nevertheless, the Puritans' prohibition of Christmas proved very unpopular. The pro-Christmas riots broke out. So they like, man, you didn't took away our acting crazy and shit, and and being perverted and demonic. We can't allow you to do that. We can't allow y'all to do that. And so they start breaking out in riots. Eventually, Britain would reaccept the royal lineage. It was a time period, where they did have they did remove the royalty from power, but it wasn't long. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't long. It was about what was it? It was less than 20 years. It was about 16 years. It was about 16 years. And then they brought the same king. I don't know if it was Charles, but they brought his son back to reclaim the throne. And with that, they brought in they reinstituted Christmas, and I believe Easter. So that just show you right there that Easter and Christmas was Mardi Gras, was carnival. You understand? Drinking, all type of sexual perversion, and you understand what I'm saying? Fighting and shit, and riots and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like when you win the Super Bowl and you got motherfuckers all out there tipping shit over and acting crazy. And so this was the type of celebrations they was having during Christmas. And a lot of people got to understand that the Christians usurped them holidays. They were not originally their holiday. You see, those holidays were already in place from the Saturnalia, from Yule time, and all them Vikings and all them Romans, they ain't nothing but drunkards and shit. They got whole religions about drinking, and Thor was, he drunk so much beer and shit that, it was about an ocean full. He drunk so much goddamn beer. And so that's what and then they got belief system that when a motherfucking Viking go to Valhalla, which is their so-called heaven, was slain soldiers, and not all warriors get to go. They don't all get to go. Just the more valiant ones get to go to Valhalla. And then they get to drink beer for eternity. And so they got whole religions, man. Well, that's all they do is drink. They fight. They act crazy. They tear up shit. And so and so you got to understand that they had what they call the Festival of Fools. You understand? That same time of Christmas was also the Festival of Fools. You understand? Well, everything, and you had what they call the Lord of Misrule, and he was in charge to make sure that everything stayed upside down, that everything stayed crazy and shit. So if you want to know who the Lord of Misrule is, today, he's looked at as the Joker. If you play cards and you look at the Joker, that's the Lord of Misrule. You see what I'm saying? And so let me get down in here. Where's all my science for that? Okay, here goes some. Yeah, here goes some of the pictures right here. Now let me see. It said, now, even in America, because they were extension of, I believe, around that time. You see what I'm saying? Because, I mean, the English banned it in 1644. And so it stayed that way until 1660. So you see, and that was around the same, a year before that, the Puritans in the New England colonies, particularly Massachusetts, did not approve of the celebration of Christmas. It was discouraged from the time the colonies were founded until Massachusetts officially banned it in 1659. So a lot of them colonists was coming from Britain during the time where Christmas and Easter had been banned. And many of them people was of that Puritan, and ideology and shit. And so it was discouraged, and it was officially a ban in 1659. But even after the ban was lifted in 1681, people still sometimes were arrested or fined for celebrating it until it became a federal holiday in 1870. This is why the Puritans decided to ban Christmas. Okay, let's deal with it. Famous Christmas in American history is when the early Puritans in New England banned it. Okay, it was in the early 1600s. People in England loved celebrating Christmas with all kinds of parties, games, and other festivities, just like we do today. Okay, let's get busy. Let's tell it like it is. It was more like Mardi Gras. Okay, it ain't like a motherfucker out there just throwing a snowball or something. You understand? They make it like a motherfucker out there ice skating or throwing a snowball. This ain't what they was doing. Okay? The Puritans disliked this because they believed the revelry associated with Christmas took away from the piety of it. They also liked to tell their detractors that there was no biblical basis for celebrating the holiday. Okay? Understand that. You see? Instead of trying to force people to focus on the piety part of Christmas, they simply did away with it altogether when they came to America and founded their own community. Okay, the first Christmas that the Puritans were in England, they spent it working in the fields and on their homes as they built their new community. There wasn't any official ban at the time, but everyone there knew Christmas wasn't to be publicly celebrated, and not even privately, okay? Because the authorities would be upset if anyone got caught doing it. In fact, when the Puritans temporarily took over England for 11 years during the English Civil War, a couple of decades later, and we're talking back in England, when Oliver Cromwell and them took over and they beheaded the king, okay? For 11 years during the English Civil War, a couple of decades later, one of the first things they did was to cancel Christmas, okay? Even going so far as to close churches and arrest ministers who preached on that day. When the monarchy was restored, so was Christmas, but it still remained forbidden in England, New England, okay? And so they still kept it in up until 1870. 1870. So shit. I mean, goddamn, you add 100 years to that and it'd be 1970. So shit, it really ain't been that long. You see what I'm saying? It's been a minute, but it ain't like it was, no thousands of years ago. Shit, you talking about 130 years ago. You see what I'm saying? 150 years ago. You see? And so now, when you talk about, what was going on during that time. Now, when you talk about the Lord of Misrule or the the Festival of Fools, who the Lord of Misrule was in charge and to make sure that everything was dysfunctional. That everybody, if you wasn't wilding, you wasn't wilding wild enough, goddammit, he got it popping. You understand? He like the hype man of the misrule. You see? And so the Lord of Misrule was generally a peasant or a subdeacon appointed to be in charge of Christmas revelries, which often included drunkenness and wild, partying. Okay, and so you see today in Mardi Gras and in like sports activities when they win and they go crazy after. You also talking about spring break and shit. That's carnival. That's what was going on during, and it was that way from time immemorial. See, I want to keep reiterating that they did not have no celebration for the birth of Jesus. They did. They celebrated his resurrection. And so, but because Saturnalia and Yule was so prevalent in December, for the Romans and then for the Vikings and, and the rest of Europe, when the Christians, the Catholics took it over, then what they did is they usurped a lot of them holidays. Because again, I keep telling people, when you're a young religion, you don't have ceremonies, you don't have holidays, you don't have rituals. And so it's easier for you to adopt other people's holidays, rituals, and just Christianize it. And that's what they did, you see? And so they just let the festivities go on, and people said they did it for Christ. But it was obvious, that's what was going on. You understand? People have been doing it for centuries, and they were so belligerently, crazy, and so belligerently perverted, so belligerently deviant, to where some of the Christian sects, like the Puritans, say we got to ban this shit. You see, we got to ban it, and so you see here, you see again, one of the things that they do, they would put on the mask. So that's why I was saying why Christmas and Halloween and Easter and shit, and was so connected, because they would wear the mask during all the celebrations, whether it was Christmas, whether it was Easter. The carnival was the format for all the holidays, you see? And so you see now, they then cleaned it up but they never just cleaned it up. They put a mask over it. And so, you can still, motherfuckers during Christmas, niggas still partying. They still go to the club. They still get drunk. They still do the same. But, as far as Christmas, what they did was they moved it to the new year. You see, they moved it around the new year. Or right at, or matter of fact, motherfuckers be clubbing on Christmas. Ain't no more. But the mask aspect, they moved that. They try to keep that Mardi Gras, New Year's. You understand what I'm saying? But they had the mask during all the holidays. You see? And so this is where you get the term mass queer. And the queer mean you already know, nigga, you on the other side. You ain't right. And so they put the mask on because they doing so much perverted and demonic and malevolent shit that they don't want people to know who actually performing all that demonic shit. So they'll put on it so you can just feel free to just do whatever the fuck you want to do. You see? And so that's where the mask came. So this is actually, you would think this was Halloween. And this is actually Christmas. You see? This is actually Christmas. And so you see right here, they call these mummers, and now today, this is in England. Okay, but what they do today is the day after. Matter of fact, no, it ain't today. It's on New Year's Day. So you see Philadelphia being closely connected to Britain. Mummers Day, which is the parade on New Year's Day in Philadelphia, is this same festival. That's why you see them all dressed up, perverted, all type of crazy shit coming down the street. And it is one of the largest parades in all of America. I looked it up. It's in the top 10. And not only is it in the top 10, it ain't 10. That motherfucker down is up there. It might be close to the 5th largest parade in all of America. And they out there with all that crazy shit, you see? And so a lot of people say, oh, they look at what's happening. is they taking, no, they ain't taking it over, they retaking it over. It was already that way. It was already, and the Christians want to kind of try to clean it up. And Mama's Day, I don't even think they ever cleaned it up. That's just one of them parades where they didn't kept it. They wear blackface and shit. Been wearing blackface from, and if you, and they got the same holiday over in Britain. They just call it something else. I think they call it Boxers Day. Some of them call it Darkies Day. And you understand, where they dress up, and it's very similar than when you go to St. Nicholas Day and over there with the Dutch, where they black face and red lips and put the woolly wig on and shit and this, that, and the third. It's nothing more than a continuation of that. So you see right here, you see they got on masks and shit this during Christmas time. And even the priests, they would, it would be parties everywhere. They would even open up the church, and then priests would have on masks. The men would be, they would do a lot of cross dressing. They did a lot of cross dressing, and so you see that shit at Mama's Day. That's all you see. So they do a lot, and so the priests cross dress. They would be in the church throwing dice, gambling, and doing all type of drinking. They were doing it all up in, including the priests. Including the priests. I got the books, and I did it, and I bring, as I move towards New Year's, I tighten it up, and if you stay with me, you will get the evidence, you will get the references to back all that up. You see? And so here it is. You see the man. This is Christmas. This is not Halloween. You see? And so let me go to this one. So here you see the mask, and you see all this crazy shit. This is what they was doing during Christmas time. This is what they was doing during Easter. You see? And that's why, we have to reiterate that not only did they ban Christmas, they also banned Easter, because they was wilding nonetheless. And so, family, now you see today that they retaking over a lot of them. You see, they got all, they saying Halloween is the new gay Christmas. I seen the shit on the internet. They the ones putting that out, talking about it's the new gay Christmas. And you thinking, oh, this is supposed to be for children. But it's a demonic goddamn holiday. Ain't no fun for no goddamn children. Unless they demonic, you see? Unless they demonic, you see? And so the thing is, you say, holy ween. And so, so what's holy? You see, is the demonic malevolent energy that they showing, all this perverted, deviant, actions that they performing out here, is that holy? You see? And if it is, it very well may be holy for some people. And that says a lot. That says a lot. You see? That says a whole goddamn lot. Because they usurp Samhain. The Catholics usurp Samhain. As a matter of fact, they usurp Lumeria, which was a holiday very similar to Halloween from the Roman celebration, Lumeria, but it came out of it was practiced in May. You see, and so they usurped and called it All Saints Day. So that day was actually in May. But then when they, when they had already converted the Lumerian celebration, now they got to usurp the Viking, the Viking celebration, or the Celtic celebration of Samhain. And so they moved it because Samhain was in October. And so what they did was they moved All Saints Day out of May into October. And they had a 3-day period where they had one day where they had the eve of All Saints Day. Okay, they had the eve of All Saints Day. Then they had All Saints Day. And then they had a third day that was for the average person. Because, they was venerating saints on All Saints. And then they venerated the All Souls Day, which included everybody. So they had a 3-day period. So they moved that, and Samhain was 3 days. So they moved it in there. and usurp, because they, a lot of them would go to the, like in Lumeria, or the Roman holiday, they would go to the graves and they would have little rituals. And so when you look at All Saints Day, which is probably one of the largest holidays in the Catholic Church behind Easter, you see what I'm saying, behind Easter, where they go to the the graves, or they those that didn't pass, and they put candles on the graves, and they do all type of prayers and this, that, and the third. And so they move that to usurp Samhain, you see. And so a lot of the attributes that you see were already there, you see. They were already there. And so in Rome, they was the ones that was already going to the grave sites. And so the Catholics usurped that, but now they calling it All Saints Day. Or we are going because we want to venerate our saints, or we want to venerate the souls of I don't know if it's peoples that may be stuck in purgatory, which is a created area between heaven and earth, and that peoples is stuck, where they need people to pray them out of that air, and so that they can go on to heaven. I don't know where the fuck that's at. You know what I'm saying? But the Catholic Church get paid, and if you pay the priest, he'll if you pay him enough, he'll pray you out of there in one prayer. You understand? But if you don't give him that money, then you just keep praying, and hopefully, in your mind, that they'll get there. But if you get a priest the amount of money that he asks for, he can pray you out into heaven in one prayer. One lump sum. You can get your ass on up out of purgatory and get you into heaven. You see? And so that was taken from the celebration of Lumeria that came out of Rome. You know what I'm saying? And so in Rome, Lumeria, what they would do, they would wear masks, because they ancestors, and so that just show you how they think about their ancestors. Many people that the spirits of their ancestors would rise up, and what can happen is that the spirit recognizes its descendants. And so in order to keep the damn spirit from recognizing who they were, they put on a mask. Ain't that a damn shame? I swear to God, man. So that just show you how they think about their ancestors. They didn't want their ancestors to come back and visit them and be with them. You understand what I'm saying? And if you ain't right, or the goddamn ancestor wasn't right, you understand what I'm saying? I understand. Shit, if you wicked ass white people and you got some crazy ass motherfucker coming back, I would understand. Like, yeah, I understand. And so, and so that's where the Catholics get All Saints Day and so on and so forth, and usurp, and they use that same holiday to usurp Samhain, which was, very similar, but it was not so much, but they intertwine both Lumeria and Samhain, and that's what you get today, primarily with All Saints Day, that Halloween, All Saints atmosphere. If you combine the both, that's what you're getting. You're getting Lumeria and you're getting Samhain. You see what I'm saying? And so, of course, you see they still wearing the mask during Halloween. You understand what I'm saying? They was wearing the mask during Lumeria. That's just something that they do. You see, that's just something that they do in all their celebrations, because, again, they being so foul that they don't want nobody to identify who the fuck this sick motherfucker is that's doing this shit. You see what I'm saying? And so this is the celebration of Christmas. This is, okay, this was the original way. It was not practiced. See, the thing is, people look at Christmas today, and they, and so, again, this is today. This is when they done cleaned it up a little bit. But like I said, you can't sprinkle sugar on shit and call it Jell-O pudding. Eventually, the shit gonna come through. You see what I'm saying? You can sprinkle it and motherfucker, but, you sprinkle that shit on top, a motherfucker get a scoop off the top, he might taste more sugar. He might be fooled. But once that motherfucker go down in there deep enough, where ain't no sugar on that shit, and that motherfucker bite down on you, what the fuck is this? This ain't no goddamn Jell-O pudding. This ain't no motherfucking Jello pudding. So, like I said, yeah, if you scrape the surface of that shit where the sugar at, you might invite it. You might say, oh, okay. But goddamn it, once you get down off of that surface and you get down in there, ain't no sugar. Yeah, it's all shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you gonna get. You understand what I'm saying? When you bite down into it. You see, and that's all you got. All these holidays is demonic from the start of them. They was Roman and Viking holidays that they Christianized, and now the truth of it, when you look at it, it's still there. Because most niggas, they celebrating on Christmas, they celebrating all during that time, meaning they partying, they killing, they fighting. You understand? They just they just don't let you do it on the streets. You see, and it is some kid, but they don't let you come out on the streets. And see, that's another thing with a lot of them holidays. You know, it was a lot of the revelry was in the streets. You know what I'm saying? You can come out, that was a part of it, which later on became the parade, but the parade is more organized. You see what I'm saying? Any other time, it's just like you hit the streets. It's almost like when you win the Super Bowl and everybody just hit the street. It ain't really organized like a parade, but motherfuckers just drunk and fighting, tearing up shit. And so that was another element. You know what I'm saying? So today, they don't let you do that. They don't let you just come in the streets and tell you got to take your ass to the club. And yeah, you might come out after, you know, when it's over with, and some shit might go down and this, that, and the third, but you still got to get the fuck up and get out of there. You see what I'm saying? So they don't let that aspect of it exist anymore. But if they did, you will see that it's like it's masked away, that you don't really see it that way, but it's just still there's more control. You see what I'm saying? So family, that is the reason why Christmas was banned and Easter. Christmas and Easter was banned. You know, under the Puritans, of the simple fact that they understood the root of where their ancestors had taken these festivals from. They knew what it was. You understand what I'm saying? And they banned it. You see, and on that, not from the sake of the Puritan, fuck them, because they were sick too. Just from the sake of African people. Why would we, and it's cool to love family, and we ain't talking about that. It's always a profound thing to venerate family. But under what principles do we do that? You understand? We want to do that under moral principle. We want to do that in a liberating and uplifting principle. We don't want to do that in a demonic energy. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that in an unmoral energy. You understand what I'm saying? We want to go back to the black divinity of our ancestors, and we want to grow in divinity and in power and liberating force. That's what we want to do. Okay. And so we have to reorient ourselves to, that which our ancestors have established on this planet in all righteousness. We don't have to look no further. We can go any part of the continent of Africa and we can find righteous formats for celebration, for veneration, of family, celebration, and so on and so forth. We cannot look to the caveman for anything that's righteous. They're just like, again, sprinkling sugar on shit. You can bite down on that first scoop. Even then, you might taste it like, wait a minute, nah. Might fool you, though. Might fool you. You might say, okay, and then when you take that second, you gonna know, nigga. You gonna know. You gonna know. And that's what's happening now. Because when you pull the veil back, you see how they motherfucking just, raping you economically, raping you spiritually, raping you. You understand? And at the end of the day, you ain't got nothing to show for it. Holidays is supposed to be uplifting. It's supposed to be economically, spiritually, intellectually, academically uplifting, because you are venerating the best of what your people have, performed is in all greatness, all sectors of society. You're venerating the greatness of your people. And so in that, and when you, and because it's about your people, the economics is to is going back into the community. You're not going outside of the community. You venerate handmade artifacts from your own people, all things, and you make sure you keep it that way. And you're venerating, and you're singing African songs, and you're singing, wearing African clothes. Whether it's modern, it ain't got to be, as long as it could be just what we wearing, but it's Africanized. You know what I'm saying? Be t-shirts and hoodies and this, that, and the third, but we rocking it in respect to the red, black, and green. And y'all know the team. All right, family, let's reorient ourselves. Let's steer from the madness. It's all right to venerate family any day and every day. If you're going to venerate your family, do that. Love, peace, family, you see, upliftment, do that. You understand? But also discard those idols and those pagan attributes that have nothing to do with family, African family, history, culture. Discard that shit and bring in those icons, those symbols of righteousness that our people have venerated for thousands of years. Return back to self, Sankofa. This is the General Cyrus said. He's saying, hey, hear me out, family. Be in the house on the 25th. I'm going to tighten this shit up. I guarantee. I don't care what you done seen thus far from the General. I guarantee you when you see this presentation on the 25th, you're going to say, God damn, that teacher made my day. All right, family, this is the General saying, hey, arm yourself with knowledge, bang on that wicked ass beast daily, liberation through African education and confrontation. Black power.